Oh, here we are again now, and it's like no time has passed. Gazing out upon the sunset as it sinks into the night. Many times it seemed as though a given day might be our last. Face to face with certain death, it's somehow coming out alright. I don't think that we have any cause to lament, but there's quite a lot of thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent.
This thing that has defeated 3 of the soldiers picks one up and throws it at you. It strikes you, and then you're hit by another. You sort of fall backwards as the rest charge in to fill the gap.
People pile.
Harlock, you notice this one's alive.
Oof. It's not a corpse pile.
It's not a corpse pile. Yeah, this one's super dead.
Oh, okay, so it's a half corpse, half people pile. Just like home.
God. So, I'm gonna say, Marcus, you fucked up last time. Let's have you go first.
Great. I think Marcus would kind of, let me think here, probably hop skip over in this direction and attempt to carefully aim an Eldritch Blast to just blast off part of this rocky outcrop that is maybe part that like is jutting out a little further than the rest or looks unstable, and to let that fall and hit this sucker in the straight in the noggin.
Ooh.
Are you acting on the double tap advice in any way?
Oh, right.
If you want, that can set me up
I
to...
think that I would, in that in that case, in order to implement that advice, he would throw 2 Eldritch Blasts. One to, like, strike it in the head and daze it, and the other to loose, like, hopefully some sort of boulder to then follow up on that and
Smart.
really crush it.
Okay, excellent. Marcus, you run up to Harlock's half-corpse, half-still-living pile and jump atop of it, sliding across the ground, freeing Harlock, freeing this wounded person, separating the corpse, putting her back on the right foot. You roll as the creature turns, trying to gnash its jaw at these people. And you aim up with an Eldritch Blast, and you get one cooking, and you send it flying, and it flies through this creature's open mouth and hits the cliff behind. And then you take your second, and using your momentum, you wheel your arm, and you underarm lob it, striking the cliff and bringing down a gigantic stalactite that strikes through the hole and pins it to the ground.
Heck yes. Wow. And I think also, even in addition to that, it also drives it down further into the ground, into a mess of shadow spikes that Marcus spawns at the last second.
Marcus, you strike a pose as this thing is impaled on all sides from behind you.
Marcus strikes a pose, then remembers that there are, like, dead members of the of his contingent around. Stops and, like, kinda turns around and is like, sorry.
Indian claps for you.
Thank you.
From the ground.
I feel cool, but I shouldn't gloat. It's a serious time.
Meanwhile, Harlock or Gregor, tell me what you're doing.
Yeah, let's try and make up, now that I'm not under a half corpse, half people pile. Yeah. Let's try and make up some ground and get over to Mercy.
Excellent.
So, I guess the first part is getting over there. So what Harlock is going to do is she's going to try to grappling hook again. It's going to click. It's not going to work. But it's weirdly, she's just gonna blip, and then she's going to appear right next to Mercy, and she's gonna be kind of stunned at it for a minute, and she's gonna be like, "Okay, unexpected."
Man, that new grappling hook is fast.
She's still fighting this thing, and as you say that, she's like, I could certainly say the same.
Don't worry. I think we got this. Harlock is going to quickly reach into her bag, and she's going to pull out one of those parchments that she uses when she's casting spells.
Yeah.
And she's actually got a pre-prepared firebolt. And where she would normally punch through the parchment with the alchemical symbol on it to kind of grasp the firebolt with her mechanical arm, she doesn't really trust her mechanical arm right now, so she's just going to do it with her regular arm. Which is going to burn her glove a little bit, but she's going to try to pry. Well, the mouth is already pried open, so here's your double tap. She's going to punch into the mouth of the angel and then release the spell.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Which Mercy is holding open for you.
Yes, thank you.
Sweet.
That is so cool.
Okay, so, Harlock, you reach down and you pull out that seal, something that contains your alchemical power, the remnants of what little magic you have. Well, I guess you don't really have any magic. The remnants of the magic that you stole from the gods themselves.
That's way better than having magic.
You reach and crush that primordial fire in your hand as Mercy just yanks that jaw open, and you swing your arm down and you jump it, you throw it into that fucking meat grinder, and flame erupts from your palm, absolutely annihilating this thing's head. Mercy, you are caught within the blaze.
Nothing really happens. Mercy just it's hit with the fire, and she doesn't really react at all.
Yeah, you look like you'd be fine on fire.
You look like you already are.
You feel better, actually. Feels pretty good.
Yeah, you actually notice that with the fire, she probably had a couple of nasty cuts, but when the fire dissipates, it's starting to close some of the wounds. But it's leaving this like orange trail where the scar would be.
That is fascinating. Have you ever tried alchemical fire?
No, I haven't quite yet. I'm sorry.
Wouldn't recommend it for myself, but I don't know. Maybe you're a special case.
Dear, that sounds fascinating. There's still things happening.
Harlock, are you hitting on Mercedes?
Or trying to kill Mercedes.
Speaking of which, Gregor.
Yeah.
That thing that's next to you begins to move again.
Oh.
This one. All of the people stabbing it, it stands and it lumbers forwards.
You gotta coordinate your stabs. This thing is trundling forward, and it raises its spear. It's luckily ignoring the people stabbing it, because they don't seem to be doing very much. And it's bearing down on Gregor, but I see my chance and swing my glaive with all my power at its torso. And it goes in, and it's got that weird, squishy, dense feeling, so it doesn't go very deep. But then Gregor activates his glaive's secret power of being on fire. And the blade glows white hot, and flames start spewing from the wound of this creature. And it erupts into a huge, splattered, burning pile of goo.
Woo! Lucas claps.
Anian claps again from the ground. But that one is annihilated. And
The double tap works.
you hear a long, clarion, almost gong. You hear the call of the tower, of a new hour being struck. And everything falls silent again.
Mercedes immediately pushes past Harlock and starts checking bodies. Damn it.
I think Marcus would help out with first aid as much as he could.
Yeah.
Gregor's gonna check bodies as well, but he's checking these monsters' bodies and stabbing them to make sure.
Harlock is also checking the monster bodies, but more to try to understand what they are.
I was gonna ask if Harlock might dissect one of these fuckers.
Yeah, why are they so hard to stab?
Alexander wanders up behind you. Kind of big. Do you want to use my cart?
That would be lovely. Your name is...
My name's Alexander. I just
Alexander.
dropped off my eggs, so
He's an egg salesman.
I don't need it anymore.
I'll see that you're compensated for it.
You load up one of these creatures in the fucking wagon, and the door is suddenly thrown open. Silverfish comes up. Okay, so, glad to see you've had that situation handled. They have this man thrown over their shoulder.
Carlson?
Yeah, he's knocked out.
Did you have to incapacitate him for some reason?
Yes.
Was he being a greedy bastard?
No, not particularly.
Was he being just really an annoying idiot?
Yes, I just...
Yeah.
An opportunity presented itself right here, right now, and I believe we should act on it as quickly as possible. So,
Okay.
Carlson was knocked out in the fighting, and this warehouse was sacked during the angel attack. So,
Oh, no.
Mercy, take
It was?
whatever you want right now.
Wait. Oh.
Let's move it.
That's clever. Okay.
Mercy, is this guy still alive, or?
This one is, yeah.
At least this one's good. All right.
Yeah, Marcus bandaged him up a little bit.
See, Inian, you do get to play pirates.
I do.
Mercy, when they say ransack, please only take what you require in order to keep your troops going. I don't want to get on your case about this. It's just we have limited supplies to go around.
Mercedes looks over her shoulder and looks back at you. Well, I won't need as many. So,
I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
Take what you need. Just try and remember that we have a lot of people to split these among.
Marcus, I'm well aware of that, and I can't stress this enough. I'm not trying to put anyone in a precarious situation.
I know.
It's just,
I know.
this is what I'm trying to offer. Is this protection, and fighting them is already challenging enough. You have seen that.
Yeah, I have.
But my men and women can barely stand because they haven't eaten. They can barely sleep. They haven't the time.
Please go and stock up your supplies. Thank you.
You know what would be a good idea? Silverfish says, clapping you on the back. Why not help?
What, help restock them?
Yes. Help them move.
Well, sure,
It's going to be difficult for them to transport all of this while wearing that heavy armor.
That's a great point. I am not very good at carrying things, but I can maybe jury-rig some things with a little bit of razzly-dazzly magical hands.
Carrying stuff?
Mercedes approaches Gregor. Just a moment, dear. And she puts a hand over where your wound is on the shoulder, and instantly it's gone. But you notice that in her shoulder on the same side is the same injury. That'll do for now, I suppose.
Did you just take my stab wound?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want that?
I mean, if you want to use it, that's fine. I wasn't really going to use it for anything.
I can heal a lot better than most people. I just need some heat and some time, and I'll be right as rain. Which reminds me, you do not look the type that can handle such injuries, if you don't mind. And Mercy lightly puts a hand on her shoulder as well, and you see the same injury on her gut, or in the abdomen. And she winces for a moment and then smiles. There we go. That'll do. All right.
And while that's going on, Harlock is going to grab, I guess, a torch from this barricade over here, and she's going to light it on fire. Now, kind of understanding how this works. Here, have a bite.
Dear, that's not precisely what I mean, but I will take that. And she takes the burning, and she looks like she's about to eat it and goes, no, I don't do that. And she puts it on the wounds. And you see the same thing again where it heals, but not nearly as quickly. Thank you.
Okay, well, this has been delightful. Everyone, please, go into the warehouse, take whatever you need, and then move along. I have an angel attack to forge. You did too good a job letting them into not letting them into the warehouse.
Mercedes puts her arms behind her back and smiles. It is our job as the Reforged Legion to provide the protection to the people as best we can. And especially if it means we can get a few supplies in the process.
Of course. Silverfish.
Silverfish, wait, is there a list of the contents of this warehouse that we could look at?
Don't worry about that. I'll handle it. They wave their
No,
hands.
I need it right now. I'm going to help them resupply, but I need to see what sort of supplies we have on hand before I do that.
Oh, okay. they hand over a ledger that they took off of Carlson.
Thank you. Cool. Marcus, I think, just starts reading this and thinking logistically about, like, what's most important for them to have soonest and, like, what they can reasonably kind of part with while still having enough supplies for themselves.
Silverfish looks kind of bemused at that. Normally that would be my job, but I won't complain about somebody taking it away from me.
Oh, sorry. I mean, you're the one who said I should help.
No. This is helping greatly. Just go with the Reforged Legion for now. Like I said.
You're also the one who wanted to be a little lazier, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, good point.
Oh, everyone's a jokester these days.
Silverfish, I'm sorry. It was so easy. You just set me up, so I had to go for it.
They open the door and come back after a little bit.
Everyone's a jester.
So, with this, I think the best course of action would be them going with you, at least for now. I'll head back to the harbor and try to placate the merchant union. Marcus, find me over there once you're done with whatever.
Will do. I'll have this ready in a moment.
If you're helping, listen, if you're aiming to help this country, I think it would be best for you to understand the exact situation it's in, and you will not figure that out hanging around with a bunch of stuffy merchants. I can at least carry that burden, so travel the countryside. Meet me back at the harbor whenever you feel like you've got a good understanding of what's actually happening in Tannhauser.
Of course.
That might take a while.
Shockingly, I don't believe it will.
Yeah.
They look over at you, Gregor. Everything is awful right now, but I think at the very least you'll need to meet and talk with the people who are engaging with the awfulness. That is shockingly few people. Most look up to me or Mercedes. So, talk. They motion between the two of you and then walk away. Okay, let's... Oh, you've already given away your egg cart. Okay, very well. Everyone, let's try to make this look as convincing as possible. Start smashing barricades, come on.